I'm always testing new ways to improve my life. If there's something out there to help me focus, feel better, or literally anything like that, then I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna try it. And as of lately, there's been several things that has helped me do exactly that has genuinely made a notable difference in my everyday life. And I really do think that everything in today's video can go such a long way for any guy. Starting off with something that I've never talked about in this channel, but it's something that I've been passionate about lately, and it's objectively one very important thing that every guy should do, and that is investing. Now I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to tell you exactly how to invest. Also, you shouldn't expect this advice that I'm going to give you. You're not going to see any quick results. It is going to be boring, but it's pretty much the most surefire way to make a really big difference in your finances. Also, this is not financial advice. This is exactly just what I do. So I would say the majority of my investments are purely ETFs. This is essentially a basket of stocks instead of investing into one single stock. Single stocks get a little bit risky because you are quite literally putting all your eggs in one basket. If this one company fails, then your investment will as well. To take on a little bit less risk, I'll put my money in something like VOO. This is Vanguard's S&P 500 fund. This is investing into the top 500 companies in the US. Now, I invest pretty much purely through Robinhood. The way I go about this is setting up weekly recurring investments. This way, I don't have to think twice. Every single Monday, I'm depositing money into my account and I completely forget about that money. That way, over the years, this is going to compound into hopefully more money. But like I said, this investment strategy is pretty much the most surefire way that you're going to make money. Again, probably not anytime soon, but over the course of years, it is slowly going to grow. Now, this is not everything that I do, especially because I'm young. I don't really have a ton of responsibilities. There are some things that I'm a little bit more risky with, but that's a topic for another time. I will say a lot of the things that I invest into, I do my own research, but there are certain guys that I really listen to when it comes to investing. People like Humphrey Yang, Graham Stephan, guys like this are really good resources that I heavily recommend. If you ever wanted to get into investing and you don't have anything set up yet, I'm gonna leave the link to Robinhood in the description. If you sign up, we're both gonna get some free stocks, so it's pretty much a win-win. All right, this next one doesn't involve money at all, and it's really gonna prove that you don't have to spend any money to really improve your life. As of lately, one thing that I'm really big into is doing hard stuff. I've been trying to train my brain to look forward to things that are difficult just for the sense of accomplishment. I'm quite literally trying to get myself addicted to that feeling of doing things just because I thought that I probably couldn't do that. Running is a great example of this. In fact, yesterday I ran 10 miles, not because I felt like running, but instead because I didn't feel like doing anything at all. It is really easy to slip into that state of mind where you don't feel like doing anything. You just want to chill. You just want to relax, especially if you say, you know what, you're just going to run tomorrow. I felt myself slipping into that state of mind. So I decided to get up and run. And instead of doing what I normally do, which is keep looking at my phone during my runs to see how much I progressed, instead I told myself I wasn't going to look at my phone at all. Eventually I got to one point where I was like, wow, this is a beautiful view. I'm just going to chill here for a few minutes. So I paused my Strava and I thought, damn, I ran 7 miles. Those 7 miles flew by because I wasn't looking at my phone. I was purely just running, complete clear mind, just focusing on my music and especially focusing on the scenery. By the end of it, I had ran 10 miles and I felt amazing. Obviously, I was very tired, but feeling that sense of accomplishment, especially doing something that you didn't think that you were gonna be able to do, that feels incredibly good. So throughout my day, I'm tackling tasks that I don't feel like doing just for that sense of accomplishment. All right, the next one is a purchase that easily improved my life, and that is an air fryer. I know this is such a random thing, but I recently finally picked up an air fryer, and now I feel like dieting is so easy. Eating great food is so easy because I just pop it in the air fryer. I don't really have to do anything but wait, and in 5 to 10 minutes, I have a delicious meal that's actually healthy and tastes way better than just microwaving something. I bought this one on sale for about 50 bucks. I think there's a slight sale on it still, but by far, especially something that's less than $100, this is easily one of my best pickups that I made recently. I would say my favorite thing to air fry is sweet potatoes. If you go to Sprouts or any grocery store, you could pick up a bag of frozen sweet potatoes whenever you want. You just throw it in the air fryer, and this makes a great side dish that tastes amazing. I love sweet potatoes, and it pairs great with something else that's high protein like steaks or ground beef. Like I mentioned earlier, this makes dieting really easy, so if you struggle with being too lazy to cook, I think an air fryer is definitely something that you should pick up. All right, the next thing is a good mattress. This is by far one of the best investments any guy can make. In fact, the one that I have, it is so good that I don't even want to go out during nights anymore. I make sure that I'm in bed by 10 p.m. just because I love this thing so much. If you're wondering which mattress I have the Midnight Luxe mattress by Helix, the sponsor of today's video. By now, you should know that you spend about 1/3 of your life sleeping, and sleeping is by far one of the most important things in everybody's life. If you're constantly getting poor quality sleep, that is going to make the rest of your day-to-day life just as poor. You need good sleep in order to function as a human being. And like I said, a good mattress is going to help you do that. In fact, this mattress did wonders at eliminating back problems, shoulder problems that I was facing, especially while using a bad mattress. And the reason why I'm so confidently able to credit my mattress at eliminating my shoulder problems is because I went on Helix, I took a test, answered questions about what I struggle with, about how I like to sleep and what kind of mattresses that I like. It paired me with this Midnight Luxe version. And to this day, not exaggerating, this is one of the best decisions that I've ever made. In fact, Helix did a study and showed that 82% of people that participated in this study noticed an increase in their deep sleep. And I could actually show that firsthand because I track my sleep regardless. Pairing this mattress with a good nighttime routine, I am always getting good quality sleep. And again, that genuinely just improved how I function throughout the day. So I highly recommend taking that quiz, seeing exactly what kind of mattress you should get, and better yet, testing it out, because Helix has a 100-day sleep trial. So you can quite literally test out what I'm talking about how a mattress like this can easily improve the way you're sleeping. So they make it incredibly easy for you to try out. They're having an exclusive partner sale and everything is up to 27% off. Now look, if you're on the younger side and you don't think that you could afford to make the investment just yet, I do recommend checking out their mattress toppers. This is going to make any mattress that you currently have way better. Again, boys, everything's going to be linked in the description, and I would act fast just while the sale is running. All right, the next thing that improved my quality of life is swapping my music to ebooks and podcasts. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love music. I am constantly listening to music, but take some time out of your day, swap the music to a good ebook, so that way you're always learning something new, you're getting new information that can improve your life, especially on things that you care about. For me, I love podcasts and ebooks about productivity, about health and wellness, or finance. Especially while walking, where you're getting more blood flow, your brain is probably functioning better, and chances are you're gonna retain the information better. If you're going on something like a 15 to 20 minute walk, you might as well be productive and learn something new. Ebooks are probably what I go to most, so I just pop on Audible, find something that I like or I'm currently listening to, and even bonus points, take out your notes app and start writing down things that really resonate with your life. Since we were talking about finance earlier, one of the best books that I've ever read is Psychology of Money. One of my main takeaways that I learned about this, it is not about how much you are making, but it's instead your behavior towards money. There are so many case studies of people who didn't make a lot of money, but became millionaires by investing slowly. And on the contrary, there are people who made a ton of money, but since they inflated their lifestyle so much, they're walking on a financial tightrope. And although they were making absurd amounts of money a month, they ended up going broke because, again, it's all about your behavior towards money. Like I said, this is one of my best reads, so I'm gonna be linking that in the description as well. All right, this next one is an absolute game changer, and that is taking nootropics. Look, I love stimulants, but it's gotten to a point that I was taking too many stimulants and my brain still wasn't functioning. So chances are, if you can't focus, the last thing you need is more caffeine, and instead you need nootropics. If you don't know what this is a cognitive enhancer to improve your mental performance, your memory, focus, learning, pretty much anything that involves your brain. And most of the time, these are just natural ingredients. For example, creatine. If you take creatine on a daily basis, there are so many studies that show that it enhances your cognitive effects. Like I said, I used to rely solely on caffeine, but the moment I started swapping over to nootropics, it is so much easier to get into a flow state and deep work. By far the best thing that I was able to pick up is Clarity by Thesis. These have fantastic ingredients. I know I said that I'm kicking caffeine, but the one that I got has caffeine in there, so it actually saves me money instead of buying coffee every day. The combination of nootropics and caffeine definitely makes me feel like an absolute beast. I would even go as far as saying that I feel like the guy from Limitless. If you haven't seen that movie, I definitely recommend it. But yeah, I take this around 11 to 1 p.m. Literally just one of them, and I get so much work done because I am focused and ready to tackle tasks. All right, the next thing that improved my life is my desk setup. I am so proud of my desk setup because it is clean, well spaced, and organized. Also, this desk is just an absolute beauty. This is the sturdiest desk I've ever had. Plenty of space. It's fully adjustable. I could even stand this up if I wanted to. But no matter what you have, you should make your workspace as best as it can be. This is gonna make you motivated to work and even get you excited to sit down here and do anything you need to do, whether it's for your own business, for academics. I do a lot in this desk setup. I spend hours on here. It's just because I set up my workplace to be fully enjoyable, minimize distractions. Like I said, this one is an absolute game changer. All right, another thing that improved my life is giving myself daily non-negotiables. No matter how much I have on my plate, no matter what I'm doing, there are some things that I'm gonna do no matter what. The first thing is walking. And the reason why I gave myself walking instead of exercise in general is because sometimes I have so much planned today that I know realistically I can't spend an hour at the gym or running, but at the very minimum, I could walk. I like to give myself around 10,000 steps for a daily marker, and sometimes that means that I just have to pace back and forth throughout the day. Plus, there are so many people who tell themselves that they don't have time to go to the gym either, but no matter what, you're always gonna have time to walk throughout your day. Another non-negotiable is drinking a ton of water, staying hydrated, fueling your body. This is wildly important. So I try to drink around 100 ounces of water a day, give or take. I kind of eyeball things, but since I'm always drinking water, I can confidently say that I'm hitting just about that. And my next daily non-negotiable that I'm gonna share, I have a ton, but these are just the ones that I think can improve any guy's life, is talking to loved ones. Social interaction is obviously wildly important, but just making time for the people that you love, I genuinely think there's really nothing else better than that. Whether I'm calling a family member or a friend, just check up on the people that you love. Sometimes your life gets so crowded that you forget to do this, but give yourself 5 to 10 minutes a day just to call somebody. Not only is it gonna make their day, but I genuinely think that can improve your life as well. Okay, another thing that I'm really trying to focus on is always being clean. A lot of times I tell myself that I'm busy, that I'll clean up later, but before I know it, I just made such a mess that by the time I am free enough to do it, I just tell myself, I don't feel like doing it. And therefore I keep putting it off. The mess gets messier and it's just a vicious cycle. So at the end of every day, I try to clean up my workstation because chances are I have water bottles lying around. If I didn't clean my kitchen after cooking, I'm going to find the time to do that throughout the day because I'm not gonna lie, that gets messy pretty fast as well. Or just my own bedroom. Pick up the clothes you have lying around, clean up, organize. I genuinely think living in a mess is the fastest way to slip into poor motivation. So yeah, I try to make this a daily thing as well, but at the very minimum, I deep clean at least once a week. This next one is something that I swear by, and that is goal setting and goal tracking. One of my absolute favorite quotes that I've heard is doing things without a plan is like throwing darts blindfolded. Setting goals and making sure that you are staying on top of your goals is going to make you see progress faster. Whether it's fitness goals, life goals, it doesn't matter. I like to give myself quarterly goals, monthly goals, and then weekly goals. This gives me little micro wins that eventually pushes me into my big goal. Whether it's making a certain amount of money, something that I want to buy, or hitting a certain number in my investment account. Doesn't matter what it is, get a journal, get a Notion document, and start writing down your goals. Like I said, everything in this video easily improved my life. Another thing that absolutely improved my life is dressing better. And if you want a full guide on how to dress better, here's a video to show you exactly that.